The Beyblade X World Championship has finished, with Istanbul, Turkey taking the win for the open class category, and Mexico City taking first in the regular class, alongside Hong Kong, Japan, and France in the runner-up spots. These awesome players performed greatly, with skill behind every launch, but these players could not have done it without their trusty Beyblades they used in battle. The question is though, what Beyblade combos did the best of the best use to take them to the top of Beyblade X? Well, today we're going to be going over those top Beyblade X blades and combos used in the World Championship. These combos also represent where the current meta game is at. So if you and others at home are struggling to see what to use in your local tournaments, this is going to be a good way to gauge what to use in battle. Before we begin though, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when new videos like this one come out. More than 80% of viewers watching my videos are not yet subscribed, so it would mean a lot for you to stick around. Also, if you're a fan of the channel, consider becoming a channel member. Any support means the world, so really, thank you for being here, especially if you've been here since I started my Beyblade X content. Now though, let's get into what the best Beyblades were that took the World Championship by storm. Now, we're going to be starting with the blades, which all of them are pretty good all around, if I'm being honest. But I'm going to be listing the top 5 blades used at the World Championship today, which for 5th place, we actually have a tie, at least when looking at the top 4 decks from regular class and open class, between Hover Wyvern and Pegasus or Valkyrie Blast on wheel. To get started though, let's discuss Hover Wyvern. I actually made a video released way back on it, and it's a Beyblade that has taken great use in the West. It was used by nearly every Western player that attended Worlds, and was on the winning deck of the World Championship. Its oval shape and great attack and defensive power make it a powerhouse in the stadium. On the flip side though, we have Pegasus or Valkyrie Blast with wheel. It's a Bey that has recently rose up in usage and has held itself pretty well, using its thick assist blade and heavy weight to overcome other Beys. It's a really good tank and can outspin a lot, so it's a no-brainer to try and use it. However, now we must move on to the real heavy hitters. And in 4th place, we have a blade that has stood the test of time, Phoenix Wing, used by many competitors in Worlds, with Omanu King being the standout Phoenix Wing user. It was able to use its attacks well and hold its ground against the top meta threats. Now, even though it's kind of fallen off in usage, it's really good to see this blade kicking. Now we gotta move on to number 3, Aero Pegasus, which happens to be my favorite Beyblade. It's an attack type that has been glorified for its metal fight roots and its beautiful design. It was used in the 2nd place and 3rd place decks magnificently, specifically on the combos 160 Rush and 360 Rush. Now that we covered most of the Beys, we have only 2 left, and these 2 are the best of the best. And they were used so much that they were basically on even ground the whole time, and actually having an equal percentage score across the board at 85% for each blade. However, one was used a little bit more than the other. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was used in every single deck, but that one's 1st place. Let's talk about the 2nd place blade, which is a recent addition to Beyblade X, Shark Scale. Used mainly on low rush and the level bit, its attack power is completely unmatched. It's insane how much this Beyblade has changed the meta into a more attack-oriented game. But the reigning champion Beyblade has, proven itself to be so much better because of how consistent it is. And that Beyblade is one you guys know and hate, Wizard Rod. It's really no surprise that this is the number 1 Beyblade used in the World Championship, but I have to let you know that one of its primary uses was on the combo Wizard Rod 160 Hexa, as opposed to its ball variants. Even though the ball variants were used, Rod Hexa ended up being one of the best choices overall. It's a Beyblade that just excels at many things and has dominated the Beyblade X meta for so long. It's really no surprise, so it's just gonna be like this for a while until something just kills it in stamina. It could have been Clock Mirage, but they nerfed it, unfortunately. It's still really good though, so definitely can be a counter against Wizard Rod. Overall, I think the 5 blades really show where things are in Beyblade X. And also, just to mention, the ratchets used used on the blades are also in significant use too, with 160 leading the charge as the most used ratchet in the Beyblade X World Championship at a 77% usage rate, with 360 being right behind it with a 69% usage rate. Kind of a funny number, but it works. And then we got 960 at third place with 62% use. Ratchets also had a variety in use. They weren't stuck to only one blade. They could be seen on many different blades used in the Beyblade X World Championship, unlike the bits. The bits used also are very interesting, actually. There's a high usage rate of low rush just because of the blade shark scale. If you look at all of the combos, low rush is genuinely mostly on shark scale. I think only like one person used like a different bit. One or two people used like a different bit for shark scale. Most of its use was on low rush. So low rush's significant use is tied to its blade. So is rush, actually. Rush is also tied to its blade as well, like Aero Pegasus, and Hexa also being tied to Wizard Rod along with Freeball. So the bits in use are directly tied to their blades in use. But yeah, I thought that would be just a really interesting fact to throw in there as well. So now I want to showcase the top meta Beyblade X combos used in the World Championship. Specifically, we're going to be looking at the top 3 players from the open class category, as in my opinion, this category really showcases the full unrelented skill Beyblade X has to offer. Of course, not discrediting the regular class at all, Leonardo did exceptional and had amazing Beyblades, especially since he's from the West. It's so good to see someone from the West win a tournament of that scale. It really puts us on the map, and hopefully Asia can pay more attention to us because of that. But the only reason I'm not going over them is just because this video would be too long in my opinion. I want to keep it as short as I can, but not too short either. But before we look at those Beyblade combos, make sure to check out the sponsor of today's video, Beyblade Bricks. Most of the Beyblades you see from this video you can get here, so I highly recommend this site. Just make sure to use code JacobPom at checkout. So now, without further ado, let's take a look at our top 3 competitors' decks. And honestly, they're pretty insane. So I want to first talk about Omanu King, because he was a GOAT. I was rooting for him when it was the semifinals, just because he has insane Beyblade X technique. But Omanu King used the combos Aero Pegasus 360 rush, Phoenix Wing 160 low rush, and Wizard Rod on 960 ball. It was an absolute beast of a deck, balanced with great attack range and the Stamina King Wizard Rod. His Aero Pegasus was a great smash attacking bay that sent stamina types and other attackers flying. His Wizard Rod also did great defending against attacks and outspinning a ton of opponents. Finally though, his Phoenix Wing, the ace Beyblade in his deck. A super sick one that he got a lot of wins with, and it really showed his true strength in battle. Now that we covered the king, let's move on to our runner-up of the Beyblade X World Championship, Blader Kyle from Hong Kong. He used Wizard Rod 960 free ball, Aero Pegasus 160 rush, and Shark Scale 360 low rush. A super great deck leaning into attack with Shark and Arrow. It did a ton of work for him, and it showed the skill needed to get to such a high placement in the world. So big props to Kyle, and you had a good deck, dude. But it wasn't the number 1 deck. The number 1 deck was from the West, from specifically Istanbul, Turkey, which was used by Faradin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Faradin. But his deck was a beast and really encapsulated what the Beyblade X meta is truly like right now. And that deck is Hover Wyvern on 960 rush, Shark Scale on 770 low rush, and Wizard Rod on 160 hexa. It really is the staple Beyblade X deck for this current meta. It's so consistent, with Shark Scale being able to cut any stamina type Beyblade and do amazing into attack type bays. And Hover Wyvern is a complete unknown for Asia. they don't have access to it, so it was really hard for them to adapt to it. They're gonna be getting it soon through a DMM lottery, which is gonna be tough. I hope I can get one because I want that color. It looks so beautiful. And that purple metal coat is insane. But yeah, it was absolutely crazy that Hover Wyvern was able to be used in such a grand stage, which really showed off the power we have. And I'm really glad that the West was able to show off their skills. Not all of us were able to get to the very top, but Turkey did it for us, and it was awesome to see that. And really sick to see a Beyblade like Hover Wyvern, which is in Western only release, take the win. Take that dub, you know? And I'm hoping that this can show Beyblade that for 2026, the West deserves awesome tournaments and tournaments to qualify for another World Championship. But yeah, guys, I'm really excited for the future of everything. Let me know what you guys thought of the Beyblade X World Championships in the comments below, because I feel like all of us are just now pining for more competitions in the Beyblade world in general. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Just remember to keep on spinning, guys. For real, for real.